Oh, hello. Hello and welcome to our third session now in this stage, and a big thank you to Kaltura for sponsoring this stage and Choose to Rent as our headline sponsor for ETL. So really excited now to go on to this next session about AI and automation in digital marketing. And this is the busiest session so far today, so obviously a very popular topic. All they're here to see you as well, Nicola. So delighted to be joined by Nicola Shaw, Head of Growth for Tag Digital, who are amazing. If you don't know them, I've worked with them for years actually as a customer, so look them up. So it will all be transcribed over there. You can use the QR code here if you want to ask questions, which we'll be taking towards the end, or feel free, of course, we'll go around afterwards to ask questions. So over to you then, Nicola.
Cool. Yes, thank you all for coming, and I'm sure AI is a word that you're all going to be sick of by the end of the next 2 days, but this session will be focusing in more on the marketing and digital marketing side of it to give it that difference. So I've been working in digital marketing really for over 10 years, so I've been unconsciously using AI for over a decade, which is probably the same as most of us in this room. However, one thing that I love to do is reflect back on the one moment that I had where I really understood the power of AI and what it was going to do in our daily lives. So this moment reflects back. I was on a family holiday in Belfast, and my two sisters were with me, who are two of the most indecisive people you'll be with. They're people that are like, I'm easy, when you're like, where do you want to eat? So we were sitting in Belfast, and we were there for 3 days, and we had absolutely no strategy. So I was like, right, I'm going to get ChatGPT to plan this entire holiday. And my mum literally turned to me and was like, is that the new name of your employee at Tag? And I was like, she's thinking I've just name dropped some admin assistant at Tag Digital. But no, my mum's face when she saw the awe of ChatGPT plan our entire holiday, planned where we were going to eat, where we were going to travel to, and all these things. And I sat there and went, this is the best tool for an indecisive family. So that was the real moment that I was like, this is where AI is here to help my life be easier and the people around me's life be easier. But AI is no longer a buzzword. Like we said, it's been around for years. It actually was first introduced in like the 1960s when the chatbot was introduced. So it's been part of our daily lives for many years. And if any of you are using virtual assistants when online shopping, or if you're asking Alexa for information, that is you tapping into AI and automation already. But the expansion of AI in marketing is huge. In fact, the market for artificial intelligence is expected to grow to 107.5 billion by 2028, which is a huge expansion from the 15 billion it was valued at in 2021. So really, any marketing professional in the room will not be like, you'll be using AI automation already, you'll be using it in your emails, you'll be using it in your lead generation, your social media posting. So it's not new, but the AI automation that we're going to tap into today is slightly different, and it's the new innovations that are coming out. So throughout this session, I'll be exploring the benefits, really implementing the strategies that you want to improve. And if I want you to take away one thing, it is to excite you on the things that the platforms are bringing out and how you can implement that tomorrow. So like I said, previously AI has been around for decades, but we're really only tapping into understanding the benefits of AI in marketing over the last few years. And of course, the biggest thing with AI is all around personalization. How many platforms are we all using? We're sitting on Instagram, we're looking at Reels, we're looking at videos, we're on YouTube, we're at home in TikTok-infused holes, but that's from personal experience. All these vast amount of content that's thrown to us now means if we're giving content that isn't engaging, we completely switch off. So this means all your marketing needs to be personalized for each individual user. And of course, any marketer here will be like, what are you asking me to do? You're saying I need to personalize every piece of content to every user? But yes, that's where we insert AI to do that for us. So by leveraging AI, marketers can save so much time and really understand the audience and allow them to have the time to personalize. According to Google, 80% of customers are more likely to do business with you if you give them a personalized interaction. One platform that we'll all know that does this very well is Netflix. They give you personalized content based on your viewing history, as this leads to higher engagement rates and retention rates. So that's why it's so annoying is when you're the one that pays for the Netflix account and all your family members are in there screwing up your algorithms. But again, bringing in personal experience there. And then second benefit is around cost efficiency, which is a huge benefit of AI and automation. By automating your repetitive tasks, AI can help marketers save time and money. One big example that is out around this is the AI now infused chatbots. And it's something that you can now use to handle all your customer inquiries. This is actually something we've been testing at Tag Digital for our event next week, Digitex. We've been using an AI chatbot to do the communication between visitors and sponsors, which takes away all that headache of all the time that we're all using having those email chains that I'm sure we're all used to. And then, of course, this attributes to then better ROI. And according to a study by Accenture, companies that implement AI into their marketing see around about a 30% uplift in return on investment. And that's because your marketers have more time to identify new opportunities for growth, they can optimize their ad spend, and they can improve customer engagement. So for example, we've done the math at Tag Digital, and because we implement AI and automation, we're saving around about 16,000 hours per year, which means our ROI can now be focused on money-driving activities that save that. And yes, it is quite sad that we did the math. And then finally is around predictive analytics, which is the big innovation that's coming out. By analysing customer data and behaviour, AI can provide predictive insights to help you anticipate your customer needs. Of course, the consumer side of business has this tapped in. Amazon is the biggest player when it comes to doing this. They're able to predict and give insight on what products you want to buy based on your browsing history and your purchasing behaviour. So it's something we need to look at with the events industry as well and tapping it into that B2B side too. So this leads us on nicely to what are the digital platforms doing to utilise AI? As we focus on digital marketing exclusively at Tag Digital, we do a lot of studying around this. We get access early to betas to test it. And there's a lot of new features that the platforms are bringing out that we are encouraging that all marketers are putting into their campaigns. Like I mentioned before, personalization is the main focus for all these platforms due to the demand of it. Google's research is that 71% of consumers expect companies to provide them a personalized advertisement. And that stat's only going to heighten when you bring Gen Z into the mix who expect this type of advertising. We're all aware of the platforms that have come out really over the last year, such as obviously ChatGPT 3's versions out, we've got Midjourney. The platforms like Google and Meta are also focusing their entire innovation onto AI and how they can implement and develop that into that. So starting with Google, AI is foundational in Google Ads. For many years, it's been quietly helping in the background, supporting advertisers to maximize their return on investment and their time. AI is fundamental to most of the products that Google builds. We've got ones that we're all used to if we're using Google, such as smart bidding, to then into more fully powered AI products, such as Performance Max, like I'm going to tap into now. So what is Performance Max? This campaign type is goal-focused, and it's designed to complement your keyword-based research. With Performance Max, Google uses audience signaling instead of relying on your keywords to find your perfect audience. So basically, within a single campaign, you can specify your audience, you can upload all your text, your images, your assets, and then you can serve an ad across of Google's entire inventory. So across Google, Display, Search, Discovery, Gmail. Think of the time that's now saving you, because traditionally you used to have to set all these campaigns up individually. So what Performance Max is doing here, it's combining the power of search campaigns with the reach and scale of your display and your YouTube campaigns. So what you can do is you can add your unique expertise, such as your budget, your business goals, and conversions that you want to measure. Google AI will then find that optimal customer, and it will serve the most appropriate ad to them at the most appropriate bids at the right time. So it's all about cost effectiveness here. Performance Max really is the best example of how AI-powered campaigns can help drive the growth within your business. And Google's come out and said advertisers are achieving about 18% more conversions. But of course, we've been testing this really for the last year and a half. So one case study that I want to share is we ran a visitor registration campaign for a hospitality event this year. And when we ran Performance Max campaigns, we saw that 31% of all visitor registrations came from the Performance Max campaign. And it was the second best performing campaign after your branded search. So anyone that's running branded search, it's just your branded keywords, which should always be your main driver. The CPA, which was surprising, came in at 28% lower than the branded keywords, which is unheard of for anyone that's running paid. And the biggest thing to really show the quality of the ads that are coming out is the click-through rate of the ads was 58%. Now, on average, Google's click-through rate is about 2 to 5%, so look at the quality of the ads that's being pushed out to this audience. But of course, Google doesn't stop when it comes to innovating. So some of the new features that it's bringing out, they're continuously evolving here. And one that's now, that they've recently announced that is coming out, is that Google is now allowing users to utilize Performance Max to allow marketers now to generate text and images in the platform through prompts. So the same way that you can use image generation software to prompt images, Google is now bringing that technology directly into their platform. So this feature obviously can be used in two ways. You can use text generation, so now agencies and brands can create new headlines and descriptions through AI. And you can also do image generation. So for businesses with limited creative, you can now use a few prompts to generate images. Of course, there's a lot of talk around here about the safety and the transparency of these images when producing around generative AI. So Google's announced anything that's produced through generative AI will be watermarked that says generative AI created by Google, so the user can see that. And of course, like the same as other prompting image generators, Google AI will not produce the same image twice. So you don't have that risk there as well. And now on to Meta. So they may have been a few steps behind Google, but that's not to say that they aren't working on developing AI to improve their consumer and advertisers' experience. One thing that Meta focuses on a lot and has been pushing to lots of advertisers is automation. Meta's main focus really for the last year has been their Advantage Plus products, which is the products they're pushing out to improve automation and AI. And the one that I want to talk about at the moment is the audience, the Advantage Plus audience. So put simply, Meta is now utilizing their AI data to find your audience out with the controls you're giving it. So Meta is now learning from your past conversions, your pixel data, and all the interactions that people have had with your previous ads to really now build this high quality audience. So really what you're doing is if you're setting up Meta Advantage Plus audience, you are letting Meta determine who should see your ads. And of course, for marketers, that concept is terrifying, but you can provide suggestions here to help with this machine learning. So there's two types of controls you can put in. You can put in audience controls, which is the must-have criteria that you give to Meta, such as like your geolocations, your minimum age. You can put data lists in here. And this means Meta will not ignore these features. You can also help the machines learn by adding in suggestions as well. So you can add in custom age ranges, genders, your behaviors, your job titles to help the machine learn at this stage. So this is really one thing that you kind of need to step aside and be like, the machine is smarter than we are to find the direct audience. And that is similar to what Performance Max is doing on Google as well. And then the other one is Advantage Plus Creative, which is also another way Meta is utilizing machine learning. And with this innovation, really gone are the days that marketing managers are implementing multiple variations of copy, multiple variations of imagery, pushing it out there and just hoping something resonates with the audience. What Meta is now doing is it automatically creates multiple variations of your ad to show a more personalized experience based on what each person wants. One thing also that it's able to do, which is a game changer for people who are sick of resizing all their images for Meta, is that when you turn on this enhancement, Meta will now allow you to adjust the aspect ratios or apply templates to improve results. So for example, you can upload your image or your video, and Meta, based on that user, will either put brightness, adjust the contrast of the image, they might put a template over it or a filter, and they can adjust the aspect ratio of that image for all the different placements on Meta. So for the story, for the in-feed, it'll do that automatically so you don't have to do that yourself anymore. All of this really helps a lot with ad fatigue, as a lot of event organizers suffer from that because it means you have to constantly update your assets. But doing it this way means you don't run into that problem anymore. And this leads us on nicely to revolutionizing your creative with AI. So question, how many people here use standard banner designs in their marketing campaigns? Yeah, nice. And what if I said to you, you could conjure an image straight out of your imagination? Would you use that image in your campaigns? Yeah, not as confident. Yeah, well, obviously with AI generating softwares that have been released this year, like Midjourney, this can happen within a matter of minutes. It doesn't matter if you lack artistic skills, because all you need to do is prompt it with a few text. With marketing, you need to be at the forefront. You need to always be learning what your audience is doing and how they are changing. Young millennials and Gen Z who are coming into your target market are digesting hundreds of creative content and formats. So unfortunately, your banner designs are not going to stand out for much longer. You need imagery that is going to wow your audience. You need to capture their attention and encourage them to click through to your website, where you'll then educate them. Your banners, think about it, are competing with GIFs, TikToks, Reels, all these things. So one of the biggest changes that we're seeing when it comes to still imagery changes is generative AI. Now, generative AI advertising, or Gen AI ads, combines the power of artificial intelligence and human creativity. It uses advanced AI algorithms really to generate compelling visuals through text prompts. Some of the benefits of using Gen AI within your creative strategy is it gives you the freedom to experiment. They also deliver very unique visual experiences that help make your brand stand out. So as you can see here, this is some examples of Gen AI banners that we've made for some of our clients over the last few months. You can see here they're slightly different from banners that you may be used to when it comes to the imagery. And it's something that you have to think about, is you do have to throw your brand guidelines slightly out the window, which is a concept a lot of marketing managers have the ultimate fear about. And to be honest, when I made this slide deck, I threw my brand guidelines out the window, which my marketing team was not happy about. But that's the point. You need to present your brand in a different way that stands out and is unusual. It needs to be unique so people actually listen and see. So here are a few comparisons that we A/B tested the standard banner against the Gen AI banner. The same spend went into both banners that ran across, and you can see the difference in conversions when we're utilizing the Gen AI banner, which are the ones on the right-hand side, if that's not obvious. As you can see, they're not too far away from brand guidelines. Like, you can still have your fonts and your logos. You just need to move away from probably your colors and your imagery that you're using. But we're seeing such great results with Gen AI that we're pushing it really across all of our clients. And on average here, the click-through rate across the Gen AI banners was 35% higher than the standard banners. And then this leads me in nicely to AI automated strategy, because everything really that I've talked about links into this era where content is king. The challenge in 2023 with marketing is not just producing high quality material, but it's ensuring that it reaches the right eyes and the right ears and that the content resonates with that user. I personally feel that AI is the unsung hero when it comes to utilizing marketing. You can repurpose your marketing here through AI because AI has the power to transform written word into compelling audio. It can turn your videos into finely crafted blogs, and it can personalize your content for all of your audience segments. One main thing that I'm always talking about with event organizers who are doing their marketing is that they need to shift away from the pattern of your marketing is just in the run-up to your event. Most event organizers are doing 12, 16 weeks before the event. That attitude needs to shift and your marketing needs to be 365 days a year. Your audience needs to be engaged and kept warm throughout the year. And normally the main pushback I hear from marketers when I suggest this is, I don't have enough content to push out throughout the year and I don't have enough time to make new content, which I'm sure sounds familiar to a few of you here. But that is where utilizing AI to repurpose your already high quality content is the answer to these problems. So I want to give you some inspiration on how you can repurpose your content. This is the type of strategy matrix that our marketing team at Tag Digital utilize for every piece of content that we produce. We utilize AI to take one piece of content and turn it into 4 other types of content that we can utilize throughout the year. Our team also doesn't have the luxury of time of creating all this amount of content, so really AI tools have been a game changer when it comes to this. So for example, any video content that we produce, we use an AI transcript to make the full transcript for there, which we turn into written text. That written text can then be turned into blogs, social media posts. It can also be used for your subtitles, so you don't have to do that manually. Secondly, again, like I've just spoken about for 20 minutes, is content personalization, which is a big focus here. So we use AI tools to really develop personalization here to make sure that our content is relevant to each of the audience segments. So for example, we write a blog for one audience and then we'll use AI to generate for different. So we might write a blog that's suited to the UK audience. We use AI to make sure that that's suited to the US audience, to the Middle East audience, to the European audience, to make sure that it resonates with the people that we're sending it to. And then finally is content summarization. We use AI-powered tools really to analyze our long-form content, such as our reports and our blogs, to generate summarizations that we can then utilize across different campaigns. So we use that and it's transformative. For example, if you're turning a blog into a shorter format, for example, a social media post or like something for a newsletter. So yeah, as I've ran through, AI is there to make your lives easier. It helps us reach our correct audience, it helps us personalize our content and improve our results, and of course, to save us time. New AI features from the platforms are there to test, experiment, and explore the potential that they have within your campaigns. And if I was to give you one thing that you would to do, one piece of advice, it is do not get stuck in a box when it comes to marketing. You cannot repeat the same thing year on year. Even if it worked last year, it's not going to work this year to the same extent. You need to always be innovating and this year if you want to grow. And of course, lastly, I cannot wait to hear what you're all going to do with all the time that you've just saved with all the AI stuff. But yeah, thank you. For reference, we are doing our Meet an Expert, so if anyone wants more information, we've got a stand in the Meet an Expert section that you can come chat about AI and digital marketing with us. But thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicola. That was really interesting.
Put my headphones on.
So much to take in. Just going to see now about questions from the audience.
Yep.
First one, can you use AI to boost ad performance, even if the audience is already determined?
Yeah, because you're saying that the audience is already determined, but how do you know that? And also, how are you finding that audience that you're determining? I think it's stepping away that a lot of advertisers think that they know their audience and they know all the job titles and they know all the interests, but the machines are 1,000 times smarter than we are, and we just need to cave and let that be a thing. So yeah, you need to determine this because, and also your audience is changing all the time. We've got new generations that are coming into your target market. Your audience of millennials is not the same audience that Gen Zs are going to bring in. So AI is the best way because AI is determining data, whereas all you're determining is kind of like raw information.
Yeah. And I was going to ask this one, and I see someone else has asked this, which is what kind of AI are you using? When you say Gen A, can you list a few that you would recommend?
Yeah, so our CTO at Tag Digital is honestly the AI king. He has one of the largest followers on LinkedIn, apparently for AI, so check him out. I'll send his link. But so he makes us really test all the different AI tools out there. Our main ones, of course, is ChatGPT 4, which is the paid version, which allows you to do a lot more. We use Midjourney for prompting, so all the images that you see is prompted through Midjourney. We also use, there's also in-house tools, so HubSpot now have their own AI integrated into HubSpot for email generation content. That helps us with a lot of the repurposing element. And again, there's so many out there. There's obviously Google's equivalent, Bard and things like that. But because we focus on digital marketing, we tap into what Google and Meta and LinkedIn are doing, and that's how we innovate in terms from our side.
Are there any questions from the audience?
Have you got any tips on giving the kind of right prompts to AI to give it what you'd like?
Yeah, great question. Unfortunately, prompting is an art. So all the designers out there that are feeding for their jobs, they're shifting to learning how to prompt because it is, you have to teach yourself. It's like re-educating yourself on how to prompt. There's so many, so we use Discord that links with Midjourney, and they have so many educational sessions on how you prompt and the best ways to prompt. So I would say go onto Discord, do all their education season on how to prompt, but unfortunately it's obviously something that's continuously learning because the machines are learning, ChatGPT is learning, so as more people are prompting, the machines are getting smarter, and it is something that we're all just learning as we go, unfortunately.
I know that's such a good question, isn't it? It's how you use it. I was thinking
Yeah.
that the other day. So going on to linking to Midjourney, so say you have used Midjourney or any other AI generated in your ads images, do you have to say you have?
So again, it's a big discussion that is happening worldwide around the ownership of these images that are coming out of Midjourney. If you go really into the T's and C's, technically Midjourney own the image, but they are saying whoever prompts the image is actually like the creative owner. At the moment, across Meta and LinkedIn, no, you do not need to identify that image has been Gen AI prompted. But now that Google is bringing that software into Google, they will, like I said, they will watermark all the images that are produced through Google that it's generated by AI, which will also be the same if your copy's generated by AI. It will also mark that so people can know what's authentic and what's being produced. So it's going to change. Laws are going to come out at some point soon around all the data protection, around Gen AI images. When that happens, who knows?
So getting quick at the moment then.
Yeah, literally, get in what you can.
So my company is concerned with AI tracking our data. How would you respond?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of companies out there that are banning AI within internal companies. These are normally the companies that have very vulnerable data that they shouldn't be sharing. One thing that's high risk that you need to make sure that you avoid is some people upload like Excels or data lists into like ChatGPT, for example. If you're doing that, it all needs to be anonymous. All the data needs to be anonymous. You cannot put company names in and things like that because all that information is going into ChatGPT, and there's nothing that's saying that someone else can prompt, for example, like, what was the CPA of this company? And if you've put that data in, it will be able to spit it back out to them. So you need to be careful on the information that you're pushing out. I think the main thing is you need to, as a business, understand what you're using it for. If you're using it for ways to improve your daily process, then perfect. It should probably be avoided in a way of processing data, because that's something that can be high risk.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Unfortunately, we're coming to the end now of your session, which was so fascinating. I know
Thanks.
it's going to be on demand. If anyone wants to rewatch it or share it with their friends, because there was so much to unpack there, because it was full of content.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Nicola. Nicola's details are there if you want to contact her or follow her on LinkedIn, or her colleague, as she mentioned, on LinkedIn. And I know you'll be around anyway for the rest of the day if there are any
Yeah.
more questions.
Yeah, come meet us up at our Meet an Expert, just beside the main stage, and we're happy to talk through any strategies with you all.
Brilliant. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.